If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs.
We're pulling a little bit of inspiration from Wrath of the Lich King as well as BFA, if that's even possible. Anyway, the shoulders, Ulduar, typical Wrath of the Lich King. Great looking shoulders, by the way. All the recolors look pretty epic as well. Emerald Palace Mythic for the chest piece. We're also going to pull the legs out of Emerald Palace Mythic as well as the boots, but the boots you could always find something a little bit different. You could also pull the belt out of Emerald Palace Mythic if you want, but I went with the LFR version of Emerald Nightmare from Legion because I thought it looked a little bit better. It really does. Works a little bit better. Moving on, we talked about the legs. We're pulling these from the Emerald Nightmare. This, of course, is the mythic version of these legs. Radiance of Ashara drops those. The boots, Eternal Palace Mythic, once again, Radiance of Ashara. Ancient Tempest Striders is what they're called, in case you were wondering. I wonder where Blizzard gets these names for some of these armor pieces. Now we're going with wrists here, not necessarily the gloves, although you could go for the gloves from Ulduar or the Emerald Palace, but these we pull from Plaguefall, which of course is Shadowlands. And the back piece, I think is a great back piece to get for any given class. Bright Cloth Cloak, super easy to get. And the helm, of course, is Warmongering Gladiator's Helm. If you're a Horde, you're going to go wild for that piece. And last but not least, the staff, which we're pulling from Isle Expeditions. Not sure, but maybe also the Auction House. I really like this set. Matter of fact, this set is currently on my Druid. I love it that much. It's pretty simple to get. It's a lot of Shadowlands stuff, particularly you gotta be Night Fae. But then again, if you're a Druid, what else are you gonna be at this point? Of course, things might change, but right now, you gotta go with good old Convoke the Spirits as a Druid. Necrotic Wake, it's a quest reward to get that piece, and the belt, of course, that piece was the chest. The belt is also a quest reward from Spires of Ascension, so 2 dungeon pieces there. The legs, which I do believe are a PvP piece, which you're going to get in Oribos, Shadowlands PvP vendor, honor points to pick up. That's the Aspirant's leg, so that's pretty easy to get there. And the rest of this is all Night Fae campaign gear. Night Fae campaign, it's the Oakheart set, Oakheart ankle wraps. So all you got to do is do the campaign until Renown 32, and you will accumulate this set piece by piece. Of course, there's a couple of pieces we still got to go over. Once again, hands part of that Oakheart set from the Night Fae campaign. Now we got a Tauren Druid showing another piece from the Night Fae campaign, the Fae woven branches. So you're wearing branches on your back, which kind of works. Deer horns, branches, kind of the same thing. This is one of the lone pieces that are from Legion, as you can see, and the weapon is also from the Night Fae Fairyland people, Rep and Renown. Really love the Haunted Forest look, and I finally found a set that goes with these shoulders absolutely amazingly well. Emerald Nightmare Heroic, of course, to get the shoulders from Zuvius. Decent drop rate, very Druid-like, Haunted Forest-like. The rest of this, we're going to round out mostly with pieces from Castle Nathria Mythic, particularly the chest, the legs, the boots, the headpiece, and the gloves. But the belt is from Mugushan Vault's Heroic, then the Accursed. Decent drop rate on that particular belt. Of course, the cloak is interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. Legs are Castle Nathria Mythic. Shriek Wing is the boss. Decent drop rate. You get those raid tier legs from Shadowlands. The feet also raid tier from Shadowlands. Castle Nathria Mythic. Baroness Frida. A lot of tunes named Frida in WoW, but usually they're bosses and they don't really stick around very long. The hands, of course, Castle Nathria as well. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff from Castle Nathria, but we just have enough to make it very, very unique, and that's what we're aiming for, that Haunted Forest look. Here is a Torrent show in the back, which is from Stormwind Ogre March, your guild vendor, Cloak of Coordination. The Horde one looks a little bit different, but it still works with this set. If you don't like it, you could always go with the Gilded Thorian Cloak from of course, from Karazhan. And the weapon, of course, is from Hellfire Citadel Heroic. Nice looking red staff. Here's another look for the season that falls between, and I gave it away. Yep, it's got that autumn look. The shoulders, Oath Claw Mantle from the Hellfire Citadel Heroic. We're also going to pull the gloves out of Hellfire Citadel Heroic. First, the chest piece, Ice Crown Citadel. So we're getting a little bit of a mix of WoD and Wrath of the Lich King here. Moving on to the belt, well, we got to go to Mopland for Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic. Garage Hellscream drops the Seal of Karmic Return. Not sure if you could still get this. I see conflicting sources, but you could always buy it on the black market auction house if you don't have it already. The legs are also part of the same tier set for rogues, recolored here for druids. Ice Crown Citadel Heroic 25-man. Festergut is the boss on the legs, and the feet, part of that same set from Ice Crown Citadel Heroic 25-man. Lord Mahrigar drops the legs, or the feet I should say. 22% drop right there. Sticking with the Lady Night Elf and the hands, Hellfire Citadel Heroic Iron Reaver 15% for the insulated Wirer's gloves. So let's hope they're insulated so you don't get an electrical shock. Next up, Tauren Dude showing a cloak from Shadowlands, which is basically made from tailoring. Super easy to get. Helm, part of the same tier set as the belt from Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic. And the last piece is the weapon. It's a staff from Ardem Wild. Yes, the Night Fae. We're pulling a lot of inspiration from Miss Pandaria here from different sources though. Primarily Siege of Orgrimmar LFR on the headpiece, the shoulders, as well as the belt and the bracers. But the rest of this is the time-worn Shadowtooth set. That's the chest, the legs, and the boots. You get that on the Isle of Thunder if you want to farm it, but your best bet is just to buy those three pieces on the auction house. Those pieces, I believe, were part of the original raids, Zul'Farrak and Zul'Gurub, or no, Zul'Farrak is in Tenaris, Zul'Gurub and the other Zul that escapes my mind at the moment. Not sure if those were vanilla or BC raids. Gotta forgive me, I started playing in Wrath, so anything prior to that, I know pretty well, but not perfectly. Anyway, these are just recolors that were introduced in MOP and thrown on the Isle of Thunder, but you could also buy the boots, the legs, and the chest on the auction house. I think we got that clear. Keep in mind the wrists here, first boss in Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR version, decent drop rate for those bracers. And the next piece that we're going to show you is the back, House of Nobles Cape. There's a look-alike that you could get if you hoard, that you could farm off of a rare in Drusvar. Check Wowhead for that. Helm, we already talked about this. Once again, first boss in Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR. And the weapon is your Ruthless Gladiator's Energy Staff, Marks of Honor. Still sticking with a combo of the Haunted Forest and Autumn Druid look. This is kind of a late Autumn Druid look. Throne of Thunder LFR to get the shoulders, part of a tier set from Mist of Pandaria. We're also pulling the belt as well as the headpiece and the gloves from that same place, Throne of Thunder. As you can see, the chest, we're going to BFA to get that. Same place we're going to get the legs, which we'll get to next. But first, Throne of Thunder, LFR, Swen, Girdle of Night and Day. Pretty decent, easy pickup. I'm not sure, but I think you could buy that one on the auction house as well. The legs, we talked about this. It's a tier set from BFA, Battle of D. Battle of D. I'll leave it at that. The feet, we're pulling out of Hellfire Citadel Heroic. Iron Reaver is the boss. Spiked Iron Toe Slippers. Yes, we're bringing slippers to the battleground, which really isn't going to fare very well in reality. But we're in WoW, we're not in reality. The hands, Throne of Thunder, LFR, High Priestess Marley drops the gloves of the Haunted Forest. Love that we got a lot of Haunted Forest looks here. We also got a fairy look, but that fairy look is pretty darn epic. And the back, Parrot Feather Cloak. You could go with a lot of different other backs. any kind of green will pretty much work. Throne of Thunder LFR for the headpiece. And finally, we're going to get to the weapon, which really ties in nicely. Blackrock Foundry Gruul, decent drop rate on the Infernal Flame Staff. My name is Luxeley. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and leave you with a final thought. Whatever it is, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night like it is here, make your day epic.